But let's talk first about teletherapy or Skypenosis. And the question often comes to me, what state is going to be the regulating state for the hypnosis that we're doing online across state boundaries or even across international boundaries? The good news here is that in most cases, no state has jurisdiction because most states and most countries have literally no regulations related to who can practice hypnosis or what that practice of hypnosis must consist of. So, for example, if you're in Oklahoma and you're doing Skype hypnosis with somebody in Saskatchewan, there is literally no governing body. There is nobody with jurisdiction because neither Canada as a country or Saskatchewan as a province or the United States of America as a country or Oklahoma as a state has any regulation whatsoever on hypnosis. So for the most part, the answer to who has jurisdiction is nobody, because in most places, hypnosis is virtually unregulated, and where there are regulations, like, for example, the state of Alabama, where the regulation is that school professionals will not practice hypnosis at school. Again, this isn't related to anything that you're doing in your Skype practice online. So even in states where there are certain regulations, those regulations often have no application whatsoever to the type of work that we're doing. So answer number one is, in most cases, nobody has jurisdiction. But if one of the states or one of the countries does assert jurisdiction, it'll only be in one scenario. It'll only be in the scenario where there's a problem, where there's a complaint filed, where somebody is upset about an outcome or something else. And so here's generally how it falls. In the state where you reside or where you are offering your services from, you will be held accountable by that state for how you describe and represent your services. So, for example, if you're in the state of Florida and you say, I am a psychological hypnotist offering psychological counseling and hypnosis, but you don't have a professional license, that would be a representation in the state of Florida of your services that would be unacceptable to the state. And so on your website or your brochures or elsewhere where you promote your services, the state of Florida might come after you. In the state where the client is, this is the state that will assert jurisdiction if there's a particular problem or there's a consequence or an outcome that results in some type of a complaint to either the legal authorities or someone else. And of course, if anybody is doing something, it's not only unethical, but illegal in the way that they're conducting their hypnosis sessions. I'm thinking in terms of, Anthony Weiner type behavior where you have an adult who is engaging in an egregious violation of professional ethics as well as the law by talking with a minor. The reality is both states could come after you. But this is largely untested because jurisdictional issues almost only come about as a consequence of a problem, not to supervise how it is that we promote ourselves. But largely, unless it goes from ethics into legal issues, hypnosis is largely unrelated and literally nobody has jurisdiction.